Okay, today we're going to talk about three concepts: velocity, and I'm going to do this one in green, speed, and finally, over in blue, acceleration. Okay, and I'm going to start with the difference between velocity and speed. Um, Velocity and speed are much like the difference between distance and displacement. So, to give an example here, if I was to draw a car, no, actually, let's draw the freeway here. And we've got the 101, and draw a car on the 101. And it's moving down the 101 in this direction. And then we have the other side, right? The 101 south on this side. And we have another car. And it's moving down the freeway in this direction. Now, if I ask you the question, how fast are these cars going? Someone might say, okay, well, this car, it's following the speed limit. It's going 65 miles per hour. And the same person might say, oh, look, this car is also following the speed limit. It's going 65 miles per hour. Now, a clever person might say, wait a second. There's no way these cars can be going the same, right? They're going in different directions, right? This car is going, and this person, let's put his answer in gray, is going 65 miles per hour north, whereas this person is going 65 miles per hour south. And again, it turns out, well, they're both correct. In this example, our 65 miles per hour, and I'll circle that, this person's answer represented the speed. Okay, so speed is just how fast you're going with no direction included, just 65 miles per hour. Both of these cars, right, even though they're going in different directions, have the same speed. Velocity, on the other hand, was, and I'll circle it here, when we included direction, right? All right, that clever student who said there's no way they could be going the same speed. Well, in fact, they are going the same speed, but they're going a different velocity, right? This car is going 65 miles per hour north, and this car is going 65 miles per hour south. Right, so there we have it, the difference between speed and velocity. So let's go ahead and clear this out a bit and talk about acceleration. So acceleration is how quickly your speed is changing. Or said in a bit of a better way, and I'll write this down in blue, it's the rate at which velocity or speed changes. And this is a bit tricky, right? You might say, hold up, Mr. McClure, right? Velocity and speed are different things. How can acceleration be both the rate at which velocity changes and the rate at which speed changes? Well, this goes a little bit above this class, but for those of you who are curious, that's because we have acceleration, the scalar, and acceleration, the vector. Okay? And if you are interested, right, in how acceleration can be both the rate at which velocity and speed change, then you might need to do a little bit of research on what a scalar is and what a vector is. I'm not actually going to go into that. but that will kind of give you the clue. So going back to our definition here, the rate at which, acceleration is the rate at which velocity or speed changes. That means that if we want to do an example of this, we might again use a car, and this time, this car is coming up to, well, a stop sign. If I could draw a stop sign. 1, 2. Okay, I think I got the stop sign there, right? So stop. Okay, and we've got a car who is driving up to it, right? And if this car was going, let's say, 35 miles per hour on a side street, and it needs to get to, right, 0 miles per hour, right? In order to figure out the acceleration, we need to know the difference between, right, the velocity or the speed. In this case, I'm using just speed, right? So the difference between the speed at the start and the speed at the end. In this case, the difference is just 35 miles per hour. And we would actually divide that, right, by the time it takes. So in this case, let's say it came to this stop in, let's make it easy for us, let's say 5 seconds. Okay, and then we could divide this, right, and then our answer would be 7 miles per hour per second. Okay, and that is an example of acceleration, the rate at which velocity or speed changes.